How's everybody doing? Tinkering with Harleys. First, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed, and if you watch these videos and you're liking them, by all means, please subscribe. Well, we're at that time of year when the bikes start coming out of mothballs, weather is starting to get nice, and people are starting to ride again. And usually when this happens, things that were put off from last year that they were going to do this year when it comes out, they start working on them. Or they take the bikes out and they find things wrong with them after sitting over the winter. Now, today we got a bike where the oil recovery that runs off the heads to the carburetor got a small oil leak in it. It's actually just a weep. So we're going to show you how to fix that today. So we'll get right to it. Okay, this is where it's leaking from. I've already got the air cleaner off of here and the backing plate and the tube off of there. And this is where the leak is. It's like a weep. You can see the oil where it's been weeping. And when they're idling, they don't leak. It's when you get moving and the oil pressure builds up, because when you're at an idle, these have low oil pressure. So that there's not enough to blow it out, but when the oil pressure builds when you're riding, that's when it starts to leak. And like I said, this is just a weep. So I got a pretty good idea what caused this, but we're going to take it apart and we're going to see. Now this takes a 7/8, and these, if you've ever worked with these before, anybody who's ever worked with these, they've broken one off in these heads. These are, I don't like them. I never have, but we can thank the EPA for that. Okay, and you just break it loose. Get this all out. We're going to inspect everything. And if everything's good, we're going to reuse it. There we go. Well, now that we got this out, I can see what the problem is. This gasket here, it's just munged up. It's fine on this side, but this side it's just been munged up. And then I can see the oil in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this area all cleaned up. Make sure any material that's on there, it's all clean, it's nice and flat. And then we're going to look at the piece we just took off on the workbench. Okay, we got everything cleaned up on the engine. We've got the head all cleaned up and all the oil off of the fins. And if you look at this washer, you can see where it's been kind of gouged out a little bit, and there's pieces flaking off of it. So this has got to be replaced. That's one problem. And this one too. There's two of them. So we'll have to replace those. Now we want to check this, make sure there's no cracks in it. And I don't see any. Everything looks pretty good in there. So we'll get this stuff cleaned up. And this is the hollow bolt that goes in there. So we'll get this stuff all cleaned up, and then we'll get ready to throw it back together. And we're going to put Teflon tape on this, since the oil came back so far. And we'll will ensure that it's not going to leak again. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to wrap this bolt. We're going to put a little Teflon on it. Yep. And the way you want to wrap this is in the direction that the bolt is going to go, the way it's going to turn, and that way it won't peel off. And you want to make sure you don't cover the hole. And there we go. Now when we put it in like that, that Teflon won't peel off of there. So that'll take care of that. So now we're going to put this all together. It goes together like that. The smaller side here, and you've got a wider side here. The bolt goes through the small side. If you put it in backwards, this is what you get. It'll move back and forth. So you put it in the smaller side. You put the Teflon coated washer in there. Put the smaller side in there. And then the new Teflon coated washer on this side. And now you're all set to put it in. Okay, now we've got this all cleared off now. This is all nice and clean. We ran a tap through there to get all the crud out of there, because there was a lot of crud in there. And now we got all the fins cleaned up. And now we're going to go ahead and reinstall this. Okay, so now we're going to get it started in there. And it's going in a lot easier than it came out. There was a lot of crud inside this thing. And now we'll get our wrench. And we'll tighten it up. So we'll just get this tight. We're just going to get it snug. Like I said, these break real easy. And that's the last thing we want. We don't want to break one of these and have to pull it out of the head. And anybody who's done these, everybody breaks them. And you learn after you break one not to do it again. And while you're tightening this, you want to keep this nipple or fitting in the direction that you want your hose to connect to. And then when we get it snug, we're going to put a torque wrench on it. This gets tightened down to 20 foot-pounds. See, that's snug now. So we're going to go ahead and put the torque wrench on it. We're going to get it to 20 foot-pounds. You don't want this nipple here to impede anything on the carburetor or get in the way anything on the carburetor. So we'll put a torque wrench on it and then it'll be done. Okay, we got the torque wrench on it now. And now we're just going to, there it is. That's 20 foot-pounds. And that's where it's supposed to be torqued. So that's how you fix one of these that are leaking. They don't leak often, but when they do, they're kind of a pain in the butt to get fixed. And like I said, these S&S usually don't leak, but on this one, somebody had this off of here before, and the threads were boogered up in there. So we ran a 1/2 by 13 tap through there and rethreaded it, sharpened all the threads up, and it went in a lot easier, and now it's tight. So that's pretty much going to do it. I hope this helps somebody. And until next time, everybody be safe out there.